Welcome back to it. We are going to get underway. It's map number 2. It's Dust2. It's this time Navi's choice in a best-of-5 grand final, which they've already stolen from Fnatic.
Yeah, for sure. And if you actually have a look at Fnatic's their recent maps on Dust2, they're 1-5. So it's not looking very good, right? It's not looking like they're going to be a team to be too worried about if you are Navi.
Sure.
I think the close nature of that last game, the clutch potential that we've seen from them on other maps where they're more comfortable, I don't know if it plays in the same way on Dust2 as what it did if we were having, a map where we saw them do crazy things on yesterday, like an overpass. So right now, Fnatic, they do have the tools in their shed to be good at a map like this, right? You have Twist, you have JW, the double AWP setup. We talk about its proficiency on a map like Dust2. Well, they can get it going on their CT side. It can be very menacing, right? You have one over towards B, can float between middle. You have one over towards A at that car position. You can also pick deep through the long doors. You can go aggressive towards catwalk. And that suits both of JW and Twist's style of AWPing. We'll see the knife round going away here to see who will be starting where. Just for those who may be only joining us for the grand final, we've done a Swiss best-of-3 the whole way through with 16 teams, and then we've made it to the bracket stage, which is just the standard single elimination. BO3s in the grand final, the best-of-5. Now, the thing that's really important...
Zeus just wrecked everyone that knife round.
He's been practicing the knives.
Yeah, apparently.
That's his
practicing
specialty.
in general.
Yeah. Well, I think, there's a couple of different approaches when you are a player like Zeus, who the desk was talking about him being one of the... Well, him and Exist, actually. They're the old guard of in-game leaders. They were here at the start of CSGO. They were leading their teams back then. And they're still doing it now, but the game has transitioned. The game has changed a lot. Zeus, traditionally a very, very slow in-game leader. Remember, they just used to milk down the clock, be very thorough in the way that they clear out positions, but the game has evolved a lot since then. There's so many more information plays. The CTs are a lot more mobile. The game has adapted. It's changed, and so have their in-game leading styles. So getting into this one, you'd say Exist is still a player, allows his teammates to default, move across the map, get the plays, get the kills that they need to open up the rounds, whereas similar thing could be said for Navi, but it feels like they have more strategy.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely true. I think that, you mentioned the slow play from Zeus typically. I think to the point where they were so dominant in the CIS region that a lot of other teams took that same approach, and CIS in general became known as a very slow scene. I just think Navi right now has more potential skill to open up things on just sheer speed and skill with the, I say skill twice, but with Simple and Electronic, and Broland certainly brings that, but he's still fostering into what he could be and into his potential.
Speaking of Simple, Matt, he's about to have to receive 4.
Well, he didn't drop down. He's backing off. That leaves him in an awkward situation on the ramp. He's basically run and gun, get one and drop down into CT, but he can't. He's already gone to Crims. Edward this time at getting one, stepping it back. Crims trades that 2 though, and Exist will step up to find Electronic. If Zeus can continue to perform at the level he's at and really structure this team into something with Electronic getting consistent, Flamey being in there, then you get Navi that can be a world beaters. Maybe they finally start winning. They've never had an era. They've sort of been the top team that's been around the longest that never had an era. Formerly, Virtus Pro was in that category. They've obviously dropped off and pretty much disappeared. All but disappeared, shall we say.
What do we have in the server here as well? 4 previous major winners, JW, Crims, Exist, have all won majors on the side of things for Fnatic.
Zeus.
And then Zeus, yeah, the lone victor when he was on Gambit for that very short stint. Went quickly back to Navi after the victory, didn't he? So we're actually having a discussion about the drop-off of teams after majors and finals and all that kind of stuff. I think there's 2 really big ones, obviously, from the same major that come to mind. Gambit, they're nowhere to be seen nowadays. The same for Immortals. Crims will finish off Zeus there, who are now the lion's share of them in Luminosity. And those teams going from the highest of highs to now, definitely not the lowest of lows. They're still playing professional Counter-Strike, but they're not super competitive in the circuit, that's for sure. Now, Navi will be going for the Force Spy. Simple has a Scout. They'll only get one of those up. Flamey with the other long-range weapon of the Deagle. Fnatic heading...
We missed that, but Simple just absolutely wrecked Twist.
Wow. That was a Scout v Scout duel, I believe.
That was mid-doors. Had to be at that speed.
Okay, well, competitive start to the round for sure. We know that Navi have one of the highest break percentages out of all teams in the world. They love the Force Buy. They get it done. We talk about the guns dropped across to players to facilitate them. And, well, Simple was dropped the Scout by Flamey. It's flashed in towards window. He can now peek to make sure that nobody's taken any B control. And now he can continue to swing around. So just seeking information and damage with the Scout, that's the key for Simple in this round. For the rest of the players, once individuals tagged on up, those pistols become more and more deadly. Close mid doors, Electronic is under a lot of pressure here. Smoke immediately alleviates that, and now he goes up close and personal. He can just hide in that crevice. He can't get tagged on down with ease in that position. And now he's floating around. They're going to exchange back a mid to B smoke here, and maybe they really want to grab control of this because pushing forward 40 seconds on the clock. This leading from the front, and it looks like a mid to B will be the port of call.
Flamey back in. And does take him down with the MP5, so nothing Flamey can really do about it. Simple's got a second on the scout. He's got to line up toward the tunnels as well. He knows they're in window. He's cleared out the direct sight toward B, and I think they're going to have to bail. That's right, Fnatic makes the correct call. No one's over toward the A site, so smoking off CT, they can get away, but Zeus, he gains an AK from this. 10 seconds, they'll go elevator. They want to get the bomb planted as fast as possible. Luckily for them, there's no one out toward long, but it's pretty obvious at that point with 3 down and the fact that they were on essentially an eco. Force from Simple.
If they completely evade Crims in this situation, he can't really help Brolan. And if Brolan goes down without a fight, without getting a kill, then there's absolutely no way back in.
But Brolan does have an AK to look long. That gives him the advantage, I would say. Again, though, Zeus has head armor, and he's picked up the AK. Now it's all but done. Simple closed it out with another headshot on the scout, and it's 1-1.
I think Simple saw Nico's round from earlier in the tournament on Mirage, and he went, I can do that too.
Of course he can. Does he have the time? Do they have the time? Zeus holding it, he's got it. It is indeed 1-1, and 4 kills on a scout. They all get AKs from that. It's not quite the same effect as saving an AK and getting 5 kills, but it's another round in which one gun gives Navi the kill. Okay, through the door, stepped it out to find it.
Here's the one towards window. He gets one shot and a tag towards the player coming in from tunnels, and Twist from the start of the round. You can see the frustration on your screen right there. The last one, as he was retaking through Cat. Now he's going to have the AWP up. They've got AKs and an AUG in play here. It's so fantastic to be able to carry 3 AKs across in the second round of the game. Now it's moving to round number 3. It will just be the pistols for Fnatic. They don't want to force buy back. We saw what happened when Renegades tried to do it. They're unable to stop the bleeding, and then that forced one for Nico later. Zeus close mid doors. Big kill from him. He's cross-firing with Simple on the other side of things towards the B hill. Over towards A, we have Electronic facing long and Flamey on the A ramp. There it is, Edward takes one. Zeus will take down Crims. Brolan and Exist last alive. Dink through the doors. Exist will kill Zeus. Edward will immediately punish that. And now it is just Brolan. He still has a minute left on the clock, but this is a very difficult task right now for the youngster. He did show class yesterday as he finished off by Edward there. On Overpass, his impact on the CT side, constantly aggressing. There was that one round he pushed all the way up in the playground and he killed 3 players, and then they had to deal with him. It took them forever. I think he finished the round with 4, but he, on the CT side yesterday, to get them in the position of being in the grand final against NRG in that semi was hugely impactful. Now Fnatic will be buying on in. Twist only has the scout this time round. It's going to be an interesting duel to see how that one goes. He's covering off mid while this is a classic Exist call. Corral down mid, do a very quick mid to B. You just walk on out here because most players aren't expecting to see this so quickly. Edward, look, they're already out mid doors here. They're already pushed. Ooh, Crims onto Simple is a big duel. It's a fast mid to B play.
Brolan does get Edward back. Brolan not content with that. Will continue to push up toward the window, but Flamey's down below, and he got distracted at the exact moment he wanted to go through. Shots came out from middle. That pulled his attention away, and it was Zeus and Electronic, but you're right, they are going to save because unfortunately they lose the man inside of the site eventually, and with the bomb planted, one of the toughest sites to retake. Probably Cash B would be up there with it.
Yeah, Exist has been making that call forever, right? Exist has been doing that really fast mid to B on the first gun round of the game. Back when I was playing, because I stole it. I started running on the first gun round as well, because if the CTs, they usually when they go into the buy on their first gun round don't have everything they need. So when you think about that, Zeus is going to go down, and it's just the saving AWP of Electronic. He has to survive this one. I think he will be. But you're going to hedge towards long at the start, right? Because you want to lock down long. You don't want to allow them to snowball pressure there. And that leaves the massive gap towards middle and short.
I think he's fine. That smoke should keep him alive.
Yeah, he can run. So it is the best avenue, I suppose, unless the CTs want to do an aggressive play, which is through a catwalk boost or actually taking the fight to middle, which you know how difficult that can be. So making it work are Fnatic, and now we're back at 2-2. Round number 5. Guns will be able to come in again on the side of Navi. Orc will be picked on up. Simple will get that bad boy in his hands. Flamey hasn't fought in yet. Maybe doesn't know what he wants to lock down the B push, and Zeus is going to have to get an MP9. Will just be 2 players over towards the B site. Now Electronic's close mid door. Simple's actually going to get tagged going through. But they're staying closer towards mid this time so that they can't just take straight to his mid doors or get cat control early. Zeus can just anchor down long with the MP9. The range no longer an issue of that weapon. And the default spread will ensue for Fnatic here as they have dark control. 2 players in lower dark. Towards back of Cat. He's going to get taken down. Simple save forever.
Oh. Goes for the repeat, but they beat him to the position. It's Brolan again that seems to have the wits and the perhaps speed and reaction time to beat him. Emperor takes out JW. Electronic will get boosted, 15 HP. It's called Firebox for a reason, but it's the Molotovs going the other way instead that will hold off Fnatic rather than push them from that position. And they'll go back up to Catwalk instead. Long battle going on at the cave. It's Zeus with the MP9 trying to hold off Twist. He's down to 19 Twist, but still somehow gets it on the scout. Now Flamey knows. And he's already dropped Brolan, taking the bomb out of their hands in the process. Turns it around, cleans up what his teammate started. And it's all just about finding Exist with 43 seconds at this point. Spotted by Flamey. Bomb went down, as I mentioned. Flamey would have seen that as well, so he just knew he had to watch that corner.
Here's the do-or-die moment, I think, for Fnatic. You're like, oh, it's a best of 5, it's still early, but they lost their map choice in close fashion. It's their best map for sure, right? Then you move into Dust2, the choice of Navi, one where I mentioned previously that Fnatic don't have a very good win record at all. I think it's a 20% win record in the last 3 months. When you consider that, if they're not competitive in this game, moving into map number 3 of Inferno, then all the momentum is carried through with Navi. They're only 1 map away. The pressure is constantly applied to Fnatic every single round. If they go down to a massive margin, they might crumble, but it's going to be a very quick cat play coming through. All 5 members on the pistols. Flaming Electronic over towards A to receive here. And Electronic's going to hear all of this. Nades coming out. They have been slowed, but they will make it across the quad, or will they? Because Flamey gets the first.
He does. Steps out again. Finds Exist. He's looking for more on top of it, and he's going to get 3 in the round in total. 2 to Electronic. It's called a full house in poker. Why can't it be called the same here?
I guess we can call anything whatever we want.
That, yes, we have power, Chad. They gave us power somehow. I don't know who
right
came
there.
up with that idea, yeah.
We didn't even have to sign a waiver.
That's, yep, true. No release form from my parents to go on this field trip.
All right, no AWP to note for Navi in this round. Twist will have one of his own. They're going to do a 4-man A-lean right now towards long. Molotov's nades, they're going to follow one through. Exist is going to take the damage. More Molotovs. Zeus wants to continue forward, but the boost on the box here could be pivotal.
Yeah, that's an amazing spot if someone pushes through. That never gets, that's 100% kill if someone pushes that door. Also keeps them out of the flames, which means the reason they did it is so much utility was deployed. If they thought they were going to push after the utility, if they were using it to clear, he's up there, boom, done.
What is important to note here is Zeus actually smoked past Crim. So Crim knows nobody's in the bedroom position pushed up long, and he can actually give that information. So normally you have your anchor player who's outside long. If he was there, then they wouldn't know how close Zeus was. But he's just over towards the pit position. And now with cat control at their disposal, I'm sure once they've Molotoved off the stairs position and given themselves a chance, they might get Twist up there to pick into A, where he can find a duel against Electronic, who throwing nades back in tow. Will land one onto Brolan there. So with 50 seconds left, and they haven't been able to find a pick, where do Fnatic go? Talking about old tendencies with Exist calling. When they're down a man, if they're in a 4v5, I think there was a stupidly high percentage where he would call a mid to B, right? Because you can isolate a 2-on-4 duel potentially, or even 2v1 duels coming through tunnels, coming through mid. That's something that he always used to do as well. Let's see if he's changed that, because Zeus is going to have pressure towards long.
Shadow doesn't give him an advantage that time on the off angle, trying to play on that ledge above the pit. Playing behind Car, very spammable. He's very vulnerable. Standing in the open, it's Exist that gets him instead. Electronic trying to recover it, because now look how low they are. Looking to the right, but he's not aware of JW pushing out mid doors. That's an even bigger kill because they cross over exactly 4 seconds when they get there. Just barely they get by. JW's got Edward. Look how low they are.
Yeah. The reason I stated that was such a huge kill on the short player was because I didn't think JW would be so audacious in that approach. when Electronic took down the player coming through Catwalk, it alleviated the flank, which meant that he could slow down the long players. You could see there, he went down at about 12 seconds. That gave them just enough time to throw some bad smokes, get into the site and plant just in the nick of time. And Fnatic get a little bit lucky in that scenario. Maybe it was all perfectly planned, but JW the hero right there.
Boost again.
Yeah.
Just to note it long.
Electronic is close with the CZ this time. It's a great position for that weapon.
Tons of noise. Crims can just sit here.
And I think if they flash him in as well, it's not the first place you clear, right? You go deep to clear the box first.
The only way
you clear the boost.
the only way you see it if you flash yourself in is if you go in with your back turned for the flash, and you just happen to see him up there while you're doing so.
So JW now is over towards B with Twist, and they're putting a lot of pressure on Edward right now. They're walking in for a pick. This is going to be a contact play onto B here. Flamey's now coming towards the door position. Timing might be his enemy.
Twist just waiting to see what he's going to find if anyone wants to peek out in front of that MVP. Edward's well and truly up at Catwalk. Electronic gone. Oh, so is Edward. Flamey left just as they entered in. It was the wrong time to check middle, and JW gets two. Down. JW goes through it. He'll hold the box. Smoke still towards CT as well. No one's going to be emerging from that. Round over. Tie game. Fnatic bring it back. Simple wants to save the op. Zeus, the AUG, they only have 3 digits of economy on anyone. So this changes everything. Fnatic, again, this being Navi's choice. Fnatic looking like they're up for the fight.
Yeah, Fnatic, they can't really chase.
Cool.
Well, that's the AWP out of Simple's hands. I was going to say they can't really chase, but because they're doing it as a team, the trade potential is so much higher. The reason I say that is because JW only has 4,150, exists with 3,100. And they're obviously going to get the win bonus from the round, but it's not a massive bank. If they can keep everybody alive, or almost there, so as Zeus will take down one. They're going to continue forward. Can Zeus stay alive here? This is going to be tight. Ooh, Roland gets him just as the round ends there. So that is an important kill, all things considered, because Navi with no money in the bank may have to consider either going for a force buy now or taking the save to purchase in the next. I think they will keep it conservative and probably go for the eco, but have been proven wrong before. Won't be a tactical timeout taken. They're more than happy just to chill. So they will upgrade a little bit. It's not a full investment. Most players staying around just above that 1K mark. Oh, Simple's actually bought on in completely. He has head armor.
Needs to exist, no boost this time. He just wants to make contact. You have to do that every now and then. You still have to keep them honest at the long doors. Certainly with pistols as well. Good chance they were stacking it, so the pre-fire was necessary.
Zeus has a flash here, so they could reinitiate on this if they really wanted to.
Slipped away. I think he thought he had the kill, but they won't reinitiate yet. Instead, Roland goes toward the door, so wait for his teammate to finish spraying behind it so he knows that that's clear. Checks it anyway, and then finds Edward. He looks better today than yesterday. Broland wasn't bad yesterday. That's not to say that at all. It was great against Energy in the second map, but it certainly was not the best opener, and this time he's looked consistent. You can see his value. You can see what they're doing with him. The entry fragger, and he's opened up quite a few times for them. Again, against Simple, too. He's actually holding his own in that duel, considering who his opposition is. Zeus gets Crim, CZ, doesn't overcommit to get the gun because doesn't know what's existing on the other side of the corner. Meanwhile, JW goes over towards Simple. Simple's high up. Should be a headshot. A lot of ammo fired. Doesn't have a lot to work with, but Broland's low. Electronic comes back around the Deagle. Suddenly, this round is in complete control by Navi. 30 seconds, one pulled back by Exist, Simple down. That's one of the 8 guns picked up, one of the AK. Zeus has the other. He's in rotation, and he's in rotation on a flank. They just have to contain Exist at this point in time, which is why they're not peeking. And Exist should become aware of this. He should know what the plan is. Surely there's a reason that they're in the site and not challenging, but he's occupied, he's busy, and Electronic does it with the pistol anyway.
Crazy that one kill from Zeus forced them straight into a B play. It was just a CZ kill on Catwalk, and then they just accelerated the pace into the B bomb site. Simple up and over the top, the elevated position, looking down upon that of Fnatic. It's 2 massive kills. The second one was on a low HP player, but it has to convert it in that situation to make that viable at all. The cavalry arrives, they lock it down, and then Exist unable to do anything, and then back and forth we go. Fnatic, they will be able to get a gun round on the board here. Twist will have the AWP once more. Simple's going to get a green in his hand as well. So this round right here is the chance for Navi to extend their lead. And because of the back and forth nature, no loss bonuses have actually built up for either side. It's been 1 round, 2 rounds, 1 round, 2 rounds, 2 rounds, 1 round.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. This is a battle of attrition.
Yeah, we had someone tweeted us saying the attrition reset, which does actually mean it's a back and forth nature, which isn't really what we're talking about with the new reset. Simple this time, he's going to be posted up towards long early. They've actually got Zeus playing catwalk, so this is a little bit of a different change. Electronic pushing close towards the long doors. Edward just watching B in a retake scenario, and Flamey's close to mid. So they've done the boost over again, and if Electronic isn't careful, oh, they're going to drop on through. That was a totem pole. They pushed on out as a stack. Was that intentional?
Neat. I couldn't. If they were blind and did that by accident, that's pretty cool. If it's intentional, that's even cooler because it's one way to peek together.
Well, because the player can stand in the smoke. The other guy on top of the boost can just drop onto his head, and he's going to be able to see over the top of that.
Well, it didn't quite work out. Did get them a trade. Proland goes down, so at least they opened up long. That wasn't perfect. Still, it gives them the map control, and Crims will go over towards the CT smoke position. So that goes up and over. Simple. Won't be bothered by that. The flash will certainly bug him to a point.
JW late cat here could be a problem.
Ooh. He hit both. He actually killed Exist and tagged the other. Flamey takes down Crims as a result, and Zeus has JW. This should be the round because 33 seconds. Twist it long. Op to work with, but bomb down in the open. And I think he's going to try and get out even. 26 seconds.
Zeus is already chasing as well. He's pushed catwalk, so he's going to accelerate this. Twist with 20 seconds left. If he doesn't get out, he could be pinned on in here because Flamey and...
Only a second round bonus. The op's worth more than the 1900.
He's stuck in long doors, so it depends on how many players and how many bodies they want to throw at Twisted to take this AWP away from him.
The issue is that the op's worth more than the 1900, and so is the armor. Presuming he gets it. They actually get it. Thankfully for his sake, if he's going to lose it, he lost it before the time.
Yeah, that is important detail as this moves forward. 6 rounds to Navi now. I want to see that long play again. I would love to see if it was intentional. And if we see it happen again at all in this first half from Fnatic, then we know that most likely. But maybe it was just lucky timing. And if it was lucky timing, then yeah, you have to be happy with that. So right now, we'll just be a pistol upgrade from Fnatic here. Navi will get a chance to go to the bank. What a grenade! It's going to chunk down onto 4 players, but not as much damage as I was expecting. And it will be passed through Cat again. Electronic on the ramp, ready to receive this one.
Simple got tanked considerably, but they'll go away from him. And as you say, Ford Electronic needs a little bit behind. Gun is he and Flamey. And does he close it? Does he find his third? He will not. Simple. It would have been his fourth. Simple gets it instead. Twist gets taken down. Navi now have a 3-round lead, so finally getting something moving up. That's somewhat of a buffer, shall we say.
I like the fact that they haven't actually gone into double ops just yet, Navi, because when they do it, it actually makes Simple less mobile. When you allow Simple to be the primary AWP on the CT side, he can float wherever he wants. And sure, it means that more players need to change up their positions and play around him, but listen, mate. You're doing what the god of Counter-Strike says, because over towards middle now, we are going to have that 2-pronged attempt from Electronic closed doors to make sure he hears them if they want to come fast mid to B, or catwalk. That was a problem they had before, right? They came straight up with that fast mid to B, walking outdoors, splitting onto the side, applying a lot of pressure, and this is a 3-man lean. It is Zeus and Edward over towards the A site. Zeus just on the long corner, Edward mid-long, and Fnatic back to business as usual. Crims, the long anchor, Twist towards back of catwalk, Exist and Broland clearing out towards the mid doors, and JW being the upper dark attendant, he becomes more of the lurk factor when they go towards A.
They're behind the door just quick.
So right now, Navi want them to come mid to B. They have a 3-man stack. They want them to actually come mid to B. So the only job for Zeus and Edward is to force them back, to use their utility to make sure that they can't execute onto A with ease and that maybe they reconsider doing this. So if it is a mid to B play, Navi with 3 of their star players holding and waiting, as Electronic rotates away, I thought that this definitely would have been their little mousetrap they were setting up. But everything I just said goes out the window.
Edward waits to see if they'll still emerge from Cat, and there is 3 there now, so.
Yeah, it's going to be the A split. JW's even left dark. His lurk factor now comes out of play. So much pressure on Edward and Zeus, the old guard of Navi here.
Still could get a swing from Electronic, but he would be limited beyond retake. Edward couldn't hit the first shot, had to fall off of it, had to go support long. They have to win one of the 2 positions, and he knows that holding the pit makes the post plant
big.
weaker,
That
and
is
the
big.
retake stronger. Takes down JW in the process. Bomb's not planted. They have to go safe side boxes for that reason alone. It's an AUG. He can scope in as well, so becomes a menacing concern. Twist is on 8 as well as he tries to beat that back. They're going to push it 2 from long, 2 from Cat, make that 1. Just simple. AWP up close. He knows they're against the wall. He hits Exist, but Broland trades, and now it's their advantage, or is it? Electronic
Has a
gets
smoke.
Twist down. There is a smoke, 50 HP, wants to get up on top of the bomb. He's got the kit to work with. Naturally, Broland nearly got him through the smoke. He can hold this. He's behind the other box. Broland's got the angle just enough.
Good awareness from Broland there. Didn't freak out either. You know, didn't when the smoke came down just lead out and try and take the jewel before he gets to tap the bomb. He waited for that. Now, it is difficult with the AWP in that situation. You can be spamming away with that and not hit it. If the smoke was more centralized on the bomb position, then it becomes an issue because there's so many more angles where Electronic can hide himself and be defusing that bomb. But in that situation, it was a little bit to one side. Gave them a chance. And that one, I thought Simple almost hit the double on Cat there. I thought that would have been another mental play from him. But this time it's going to be the fast mid to be again. Flamey's close doors this time, though.
Babysat by the op while they ran up. They certainly know they're there. Flamey with this positioning can confirm that. Again, that cubby control, this little nook that they've added behind the wall, means you can avoid the spam through the door far more easily. And it actually strengthens the position. Broland still has Simple. I'd love to see the statistics head-to-head on the two of them because I think it's pretty even. I think it's maybe even Broland winning that duel. Simple's been getting kills all over the place, but not necessarily just against him.
Feels like they're posturing for a mid to B right now as Crims is left long very early. Normally they've been defaulting down to that 40-second mark, but now the mid to B smoke comes in. Electronic's going to block it, but there's no gap.
Trade. Flamey gone and Broland adds to it. Finds Electronic pushing back out from CT spawn. Edward on 12
He's in
has a
trouble.
lot to worry about. He's got people behind, 1 in front, and no HP to fight with. Hardly the gun as well in the UMP. And they win it on kills. The bomb went down anyway. Twist gets Zeus back in it. As always, we said they were getting a buffer. Good thing they did. It's 7-6.
Yeah, the biggest string of rounds right now is 3, and that's in favor of Navi. Well, Fnatic sit in a position where they can do the same right now, and they can even walk away with winning the half. You have to consider what Navi are working with, and that's pennies on the dollar. Investment from them here is going to be light this time round. It's just the Deagle in the hands of Simple, and he's going towards long. An early duel against Exist on the AWP. He can make it work as the flashes still come in, and early opening there for the in-game leader. Now remember, we spoke about Exist. He's won a lot of finals, 24 trophies in his cabinet.
It's not bad.
What is he, the most decorated player in CSGO?
Yeah, he's won the most championships. He's not won the biggest amount of prize pools. That just goes to speak of how much success he had sort of 2012, 2013 NIP. And the fact that we weren't where we are now. To give you an example, Majors, the first one, 2013, all the way up until 2016 Columbus, were $250,000 prize pool total. Today, the winner alone takes that. And this is not a major. Premier level event, no doubt. Not a major. Starladder will be hosting the next one in Berlin. That comes up just in September. Simple trying to take the advantage for his team, but without weapons, it's hard to do so as Crims overruns him. You said it, they're in a position finally to take 3 on the Fnatic side as well. Zeus desperate to hit a shot at long. He does get Broland.
He lives here. Flamey can get on in.
The cross covered. Smoke not down. I want to consider that because, as you say, Flamey's worked up. He's got the little, not good enough. But Exists holds true, and Crims finds the final, 7-7.
Stuff from Fnatic here. I'm liking what I'm seeing. It is gritty Counter-Strike, right? The rounds they're winning, it is a brawl to get through, but they're not afraid of anybody. You heard before when Crims, he was doing that, I guess it was a pre-game interview after the first map. So you were getting the content when we were already in the series. But either way, he was saying Simple, he's everywhere. It's not like you can counter this guy. You can't just go, oh, let's avoid Simple, because you don't know where he's going to be. You just have to play a regular game of Counter-Strike. You have to treat it like anybody else. He's not a player that's like, oh, well, we know that, you know, I don't know, let's pick a player. I'll just make something up. Back in the day, JKS used to be a pretty good anchor over towards the B-bomb site on Cage for us. So, you know, in Australia at least, people would avoid that. They'd come and try and kill me, for example. So it's difficult to avoid the strength of Navi because he is so sporadic in his approach to the game. So he's going to buy on into the Alligator for this last round. I'd be interested to see if he maybe tries to push into lower dark or an upper dark push with this. He's currently positioned looking towards middle. We have Electronic, Flamey, and Zeus going over towards the A-bomb site. And Simple, he's not going to push with it. He's just going to keep it honest, but it could be a fast B play here.
Flamey, Brolan, so fast.
He's not getting it done with a shotgun.
Minute and 40. He's already through mid doors. That forces Crims to have to look out, or excuse me, Simple to have to look out. And Crims walks in with the AK-47. And Brolan doesn't need to go any further. He backs off. JW's got it from the window. He can cover the cross when they get to the doorway. Takes some damage for it. Goes down to 14, but Fnatic again going to win the half. 8-7 this time T-side of Dust2, and it's not their map choice. If they steal this back, we have a series. If they don't and go down to 0-2, you mentioned it. Reverse sweep in a best of 5 is not something we see, or at least hasn't been.
So on the first map, correct me if I'm wrong, Navi won both pistols?
Yes. Simple had 2K and a 3K, respectively.
Yeah. So this time round, Fnatic kicked things off with a pistol round of their own, but they were forced ball back Simple with the amazing 4K on the Scout. So that's the problem is...
conversions.
Yeah, if you win pistol against Navi, the second round is just as scary.
I think that makes the... Yesterday it was 8 and 13.
Okay.
Was the second round. So when Navi lost the pistol, they won 8 second rounds.
Which is insane.
That's more than 50% of the second rounds they're winning on force buys. That is nuts. I think that was where we were in the first game.
Before Renegades.
Yeah, well, no, that was the first map against Renegades because it was the first one Renegades lost. They were 10 and 10 on conversions.
Yes.
So I don't know where we are exactly on that stat, but the point is they won at least 9 or stolen 9 second rounds in this event. That goes a long way.
Yeah, because it's not only just about, you know, winning a round and putting it on the board, it's because they actually get the lower money bonus, right? Because at the moment, the way that it works, if you lose pistols, you get 1,900.
Yep.
Well, if you bounce back and win off of that 1,900, the other team goes down to 1,400. And on the CT side, they go for a force bay again. You're able to convert that. Well, then you're up to a fantastic position. Pistol round getting underway here. No surprise, the P250 in the hands of Simple. Smoke and a flash for Edward. Kevlar on the rest of the crew. Twist will have Diffuse getting 2 flashes. Simple patrolling over to mid very early. Exist has utility as well, just to note. So 2 players in the B bomb site. Twist over towards mid. Block that smoke this time around. There will be a gap. He's done that better than Electronic, and they don't have to worry about the mid to B, which means that if Twist wants, he can actually drop back closer towards A, where existing Crims currently reside.
Electronic should notice that that's bloomed differently and be expecting the gap. He still wants to put pressure out in middle while Zeus does the same on the catwalk. They can try and wrap potentially through CT. Count smoke. Awkward, they're tripping over each other, but the damage is going their way as Exist is tagged.
They pulled the rotation completely away from B here, so now Fnatic in limbo. They have to go back and forth between middle and B, and they've dropped on back. So that smoke that was dropped in the site by Exist, that was the catalyst for Navi to say, hey, hold up, we've got time to work with. There's still plenty time on the clock.
You say they've pulled it completely. They did get back before they crossed middle. That's the awkward point of, I won't say point of no return, but point of contention. A push through tunnels at B is also from JW going to reveal that there's no one there. Now they can firmly and confidently rotate back. Exist only on 10 HP. He goes down. Zeus actually hits that shot. Edward follows it. So Flamey, Zeus, Edward in that order finding kills. Simple already has one. Who's going to find the last? It's just Brolan. Keep his head down. He's trying to walk away from it. But Zeus pops over the edge. Brolan's gone.
So JW made a really good information play by pushing Dark in that regard, right? Because they were rotating back and forth. Once the call was made, there were so many players capped. They immediately scuttled down towards middle. Oh, cancel, cancel, cancel. They're not here. Let's go back. And just to make sure that it wasn't going to be that B push, he went seeking for information, but it wasn't to B. And now we're going to see the scout in the hands of Twist here. See if he can do what Simple did. Crims will buy one as well. 3 Deagles. So dangerous weaponry picked on up for Fnatic here. Because this is a map where you tend to posture a lot more for position. You know, your jiggle peeking corners. Just takes a Deagle bullet to the body or a scout tag, and feeling very worse for where you eventually will get control. And the CTs, after they know they get tags, they don't actually mind giving you so much territory because you get into the closer choke points and they become more effective at that point. But without the CZs, without the P250s, it is just the Deagles. They're going to have to land some big shots. And Electronic opens up with the long-range Mach 10 onto Twist. That's 1 scout down.
Brolan. Good push on the Deagle. The doors seem to be his domain. Fate of Simple as he wants to slide underneath the 2 players on Cat. Needs to be aware of that, though, because if they jump over the wall while he's spraying like this, he doesn't have a lot of support. He has one toward top middle. That's Zeus. Puts pressure on him to hit the shots to save his teammate. Jumped up. Can't spot them yet. Putting a lot of pressure there. Exist getting closer, but he will be spotted. But in the time that they do so, that's when Brolan peeks again, finds another kill, and Crims gets Zeus down. We might have a response from Fnatic this time because bombs dropped on Catwalk. Now, the saving grace in that is exactly what you're seeing on the right side of your screen. Edward took long. Simple holds the door. They both find kills, and they're back in command.
JW is still in this, though.
He's got mid. One of them has to cross the other. Who's going to be spotted first? Simple. He's got the AK, and he's ready for the push. Navi just barely get away with it.
Shaky there. But regardless, the round goes on the board. Crim's up to 17 kills, leading the server. Brolin at number 2 on 14 to his name. On the other sort of things, Simple tied with Flamey, 13 kills. The desk spoke about it in the opening segment. Flamey, he's a player that you can look to because he has been a little bit quieter. If he has a big game right now, and Electronic and Simple can continue their domination, Edward and Zeus continue their impact. Ouch, that one's going to hurt. As 3 nades towards Long, they're going to land. Simple will get...
Oh, lit up. He got a kill for it, but it cost him his life.
So they can actually go and get that AK, and Flamey is currently only on a Mac 10, so he can go back at any point in time to upgrade his weapon for free.
If they pick that up and want to run that AK away, don't throw it in that box. That's too obvious.
You have to throw it over the wall. Actually, Edward has Simple's AK, and Zeus has the Galil of Edward.
Well, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, the guns have ended up in all the right hands. So Flamey can't upgrade. He's stuck on that. As they're going to creep their way up Catwalk with 2. Still strung out, but now they know that they're only working against the USPs. The grenades have already come out, so the only real key point of damage is gone, and leading the way, Electronic. He's just scouting onto the bomb site with the bomb in tow of Zeus, who'll be able to plant it when he knows everything's clear. And Electronic can continue to push. He knew that there were players over towards Long, but they've stacked the B bomb site, so no problems at all. The 40-second timer will begin. And now what you'd want to do is allow Flamey the opportunity to milk some kills with the Mac 10. He'll find the first. And the reason we say that, in case you're new to Counter-Strike, is the Mac 10, you actually get a bigger bonus for every kill than you would with a rifle.
Yeah, exactly. So he'll make $600 for each kill that he finds right now. Cheeky little boost for Brolin to see if anyone's coming. He's the scout.
It's pretty cool, right? It's actually a very nice boost to see come on in. Obviously, just with the USPs, it's not going to do crazy damage. Maybe gets them a cheeky kill on Electronic. Yeah, it's going to get the better of Brolin.
He knows the spots. They all do. Flamey knows that they're inside B, then just fires to hope to get more on that Mac 10, but won't. 10 now for Navi.
Double AWPs. This is the potential for Fnatic to be very strong on their CT side, comes off of the back of these 2 AWPs, JW and Twist. There's so much damage they can do, especially just the way that JW plies himself with the big green. He's not scared of re-peeking. What happens is once enough utility gets dispelled from the Ts, you normally expect the AWPer to respect it and fall on back, but JW, he doesn't respect anything or anyone. He's happy to go for Jules all the time as shots will continue to rattle through. You can see that there's 2 players on Catwalk. Twist is actually going to pick towards lower dark with the AWP. This is fantastic to do against the defaults. But maybe that grenade that came lower, keep them a little bit warier. He's going to sneak through. Good timing on this. He's actually going to peek on up from behind us. The angle he wasn't expecting. Electronic does that beautifully.
That is pretty swift. Rather than showing up at the bottom of the stairs, you come from the underside and you've got the angle lined up in your advantage. JW still has Simple. Brolin, though, will Molotov, rather incendiary. If you want to be technical, if you're one of those people. Clip, magazine, whatever.
Flames.
Flames behind the smoke. Doesn't really do much because they extinguish fast enough. They're already rotating back over toward mid anyway, and Edwards at Long taking out Crims. An advantage again for Navi. And JW backing off, being very passive inside of CT, suggests perhaps that if this bomb goes down, they will not go any further. And who's waiting for that? None other than the Mac 10 that can afford to go down at this point in time. He's already got a round in hand. Who can push through and go hunting.
Electronic as well. He's already gone backyard back to T-spawn to cut off the B save. So at this point, they know they're isolated either over towards the tunnels, B hill, or the B site. So it's only a matter of time before they start to clamp down this pressure.
Electronic is waiting to see if they go through dark. He doesn't need to push himself, and Brolin gets Electronic. Does that give him the signal? Does that confirm that he's in B? Smoke for Edward. OpJW, ooh. OpJW should be able to hold off the player at CT, and that's Zeus down. Now they're costing themselves a bit of money trying to chase, but like I say, they've got a round in hand. So getting Brolin down is significant. JW the last alive, and that op needs to stay up. It will. That costs a lot of money for Navi, though. Buying back in and only getting one gun taken away. Both teams are teetering on the edge of their economy. It's like the bus full of gold in the Italian Job hanging on the edge of the cliff. That's them right now with their economies.
That's a good movie. Is it the mini with the minis?
Mini Cuba.
Yeah, that's a great scene. Anyway, causing a bit of scene, and Navi here. They have found themselves in a pretty position on this T side, up to 11 rounds now. It's the 8 of Fnatic, and with the AWP of JW in play, they're not out of danger just yet. Deagles again for the remaining players of Fnatic who couldn't afford to buy into the rifles. So every round is dangerous. It's not like you can get lackadaisical in your approach. If you are that of Navi, you need to be thorough. If you aren't going to be direct and overwhelmed, then you have to make sure you're cautious. And JWB flashed off the line just as...
It's actually perfect, though, because he baited out a shot, so Electronic knew he had that moment, that window, to actually push on a catwalk. Manages to get one with it. Decent little setup. Exists behind his teammate. Manages to get a back reload. Keeps his head down. 6 HP. He's alive, I guess.
Yeah, he's a bit unlucky not to be able to finish that one off in that regard. So Dust2 only did a little bit of damage, but how much, I'm sure that information is lost on him right now. So heading over towards the A bomb site. That Molotov's going to force Crims to go there as well. Zeus will eventually take down the Nemesis, the in-game leader on the other side. And okay, JW keeping it interesting. 3-on-3 situation. They know he's isolated towards CT spawn room, so they can push on out through catwalk. They've dropped the AWP over towards Zeus, who's going to take it over towards the Goose position.
Not often Zeus plays on the op.
It's because of the low HP. It's the Bogdan's Law of old. And now it is Simple and Flamey in the bomb site as well. So they're kind of stuck in this position.
They are stuck, and they've lost the low HP. JW got that exactly. Sliding up for the long. He's not going to hold. He's not going to wait. He just wants to get up and get his AWP in play, but they've got to get Simple. He manages to fall off the car. That actually made it awkward because Simple couldn't control the spray, couldn't predict that movement, and he gets the shot on the opposite result. 4 kills, JW swift to get back in and make it a 9th round for Fnatic, just barely.
Smile on his face there as well, and as he should, because that's a huge one. That is a lot of impact. I don't think Zeus realized that he was open from that long position or that it wasn't actually being covered. He was oblivious to that. He wasn't even aware. He was just sitting and waiting. And then obviously Flamey realized he has to push now because they're stuck between the cat flank and the long push of the AWP. He's trying to get it done and saved off the hero once more. I think that's the second time we've seen Fnatic be able to get away with a play like that in this game so far. Will be a buy from Navi.
It's certainly not the first time in this series. You think back again to that AK of Electronic.
Yeah.
Flamey waiting it out in B to see if there'll be a push. So the double op pays off. In the long run, I suppose. And they'll bring it back for Twist. Great double up potential that Fnatic has currently with Twist and JW. Electronic just absolutely removes Crims. Great flash in, good find. Loses a lot of HP, but can back off. Similar to the double up potential that Oscar and Chris J brought from Mouse Sports.
Just to notice there, when Electronic goes in and he gets the kill, if you look at the feed, the cam feed, you can see how much he's talking. So the information that he's relaying right there is the fact that just because they've taken down Crims close mid doors, not normally a player towards that part of the map, right? He's normally actually over towards the A side. Because Twist is your A AWP, Exists as the A rock, and Crims is the floater, and with him close doors, it means that there's probably 2 players still in that B bomb site, so they wouldn't accelerate a mid to B off of that. They could hold, they could find another kill into JW. The AWP goes down, and now they could just pincer onto Brolan, who has to stand tall here, needs some impact from the youngster.
Super tough position to be in as well, watching window and mid. Has to make a decision on which to focus. Double check mid, it's open. It's going to be all in front of the site. He's falling forward. He's in front of the box. Doesn't give him any coverage, and Flamey finds the kill. Bomb site open. Save for Fnatic. I would suggest that's going to be the case. Op and an AUG, and not a lot of money for anyone. JW's got around, Exist has 3,400. So I say around, JW's got 4,700 plus what they're about to receive. And Brolan's able to buy next round as well. So 2 guns will do it.
So it's 4 in a row. 1-1. Lost one. But as you mentioned, this is one thing we saw yesterday as well on Train. We saw it on Inferno a lot. That there were so many more saves coming out on the side of Navi. And that was normally in their first halves, right? But this is the second half right now. Fnatic is still needing to do the same thing. A Twist with a lot of pressure applied. He'll go down. Those two guns that could have facilitated buy in the next, they're out of things. There is enough money on the board for everybody other than Crims and Exist, who both only have 3,100. So they have that $2,900 loss bonus coming in there. So there's no hard reset after winning a round. That's the one thing we wanted to avoid, and that has been avoided in this scenario right here. So enough for them to buy on in. Crims will get himself an MP9. Brolan will have a Famus. Exist will be on the M4 and the double ops again. So a lot of pressure applied onto JW and Twist here. Fast long approach. They will send the AWP out to go for a pick. Electronic has the best spawn. Not going to get anything done.
Made deep. Simple at the pillar, just waiting it out. Protection from that hand explosion. Handheld explosive. Flamey back towards spawn, just waiting to see if any rotations will occur.
That was misthrown smoke. Normally when you dribble a lurk smoke out into the B-bomb site like that, you want it to go a little bit deeper, normally towards the bottom of the stairs, because at that point you can actually push out and use either the box on the right-hand side or push out to the cutout on the left, and you can have multiple players pick on in. That's why the deeper smoke, it allows for a few more avenues of access. That Molotov towards mid doors will clear it out as Simple and Electronic. Make sure the corners are sorted as Crims here, up close to burst with MP9.
See if we can do anything with it. Flash is perfect! MP9 gets two, and they're held defenseless because they can't even see the man who kills them.
Exist with 3 flash assists right there.
And they could boost to the corner. That means Exist waiting for that bomb to reveal itself inside of the smoke as an angle that could cut off Simple. They've got the AK up close. He steps out, though. Oh. He reads that. He can even follow because he knows there was a second player in support. Simple turns this round around. He's got 2 already, 3 to find. Twist is waiting with the AWP. He'll make no mistake. Simple falls. And it is just Edward, and Twist is set and ready. Great shot through the basket to find him as well.
So the response is there. This is strange. We've seen this out of Fnatic both days in a row now. NRG yesterday, Navi today. When they get into the later stages of the game, they go tit for tat, round for round, back and forth. I think one thing to point out here with the scores up on the screen is how even is it right now for Navi? Everybody having a contribution, whereas on the other side of things, Crims, 20 kills, JW, 15, Brolan 15, Twist has just found 2 kills in that round, Exist 9 to his name. But Exist just had 3 kills with a flash assist, right? He didn't actually get the kills, but his flash facilitated 3 big frags in a round Fnatic desperately needed. We'll be able to buy again as Navi. AWP out once more. This time Simple will have it. The reason he didn't have it in that round is he actually went over towards Dark at the start. Electronic took it towards Long to get the pick, and then they gave it back to Flamey. So there was a little bit of moving around of the big green. Now it's going to go back to the man who wields it the best.
Yes. None other than Simple and Twist to go head-to-head on the weapon.
Just checking to see. Yes, JW has one to pick up as well, and he's currently looking towards the long position. Twist is looking towards middle to at least throw a smoke. Whether or not he goes and picks behind it, yes, he will. So they're mixing things up a little bit here. JW was over towards B in previous rounds, and this is how dynamic this team can be. Twist going towards the platform position to pick on in, and he won't be challenged early. JW not able to get anything done over towards long as well. And quicker towards mid is it this time round, as Electronic is already peering on out. We've seen him have success against Crims in the close position. We've seen him use the Mac 10 as well to open it up. That's a deeper lurk smoke, but it has a gap in it this time. So either way, back-to-back rounds with that B smoke. It's either too deep or not deep enough. And the information can still be gathered and garnered by Twist, who's up close to bursting with the AWP. Zeus has taken cat control. And actually falling off was JW. He was going up to pick the line. Deep down and short, he fell. He had to get reboosted.
He's not new to this, though, is he? He knew exactly where Zeus likely was, given the smoke, given that he couldn't see into the stairwell, and it's almost unlucky not to get the kill with such awareness. Tags him through the edge of the cement, and Zeus sits on 14. Smokes down CT. Twist, as you say, was waiting toward B. He's going to get aggressive with his op. Wants to hold
the flash
tunnel because Brolan has to be perfect. And you're right, the flash with Electronic inside of the smoke, you mentioned it. He's playing in those smokes so aggressively. Brolan doesn't know it, otherwise he'd almost fire into it at this point in time.
But they don't have a flash. They're waiting just for it to dissipate, hoping they get the better of it. Now, this looks like a weak push, and as I say that, I light up the scoreboard with 3 huge kills, and now they have the number advantage and the rotation cut off.
Flamey front truck. This is a great position. You can see top middle. He can swing to CT. JW removed, and Navi for 13 rounds. Sold to the highest bidder. Exist is gone. Edward with that kill as well. They fanned out after the bomb was planted. There was no way he was getting near the site. And save not an option. Force buy. Is it one? I don't know what you do here if you're Fnatic, because you give up 14 rounds, you force buy into this. I think you have to save. You can't give up 2 rounds and give them 15 already.
Oh, because it's been the back and forth nature of 1 round won, 1 round lost, 1 round won, 1 round lost, they should still get 2,900, right?
True enough.
So in the next, they will be able to get a full buy on. It's just they've conceded 14 and they've gone for a light pistol upgrade.
Yeah, the point being, though, that, yeah, if they force bought this time, they would concede 14, maybe 15 as well.
Exactly.
So JW gets in behind the door at the cubby. Shots come out. Broland falls first. It's Edward at long, and this is pretty straightforward so far, I will say, so far, because Smokes down Catwalk, they might be able to do something with this. They don't have a flash. They can't get Crims into position in that fashion. And it's electronic boosted where Exist was last time on the box, and that means, although not easily, he can do the damage to allow Flamey to get the kill. He probably should have got that cleanly, but ultimately, same result in the end. That's all they care about, winning the round 14-10 indeed. But as you say, they saved. Now let's see what they bring to the table.
Double AWPs. Exist has one that he's brought on up. He's dropped on over to Twist, so they've shuffled their weaponry around, past the parcel, pick the prize you want. I think that's how they do it nowadays with the kids.
Get what you want all
the
time.
All the time. Spoiled little brats anyway. Twist will be solo B this time. They're going to boost Broland in spawn, so this allows them to do a better defense over towards their A side. Out long. Edward's going great fast. What is this?
He's already got Exist down. They want map point with or without guns against them.
Here's the problem just quickly. Because Twist is solo B, his key focus is just on the side.
It's an op, though.
Oh, no.
It's an op, and he's changed it. He didn't want to stay boxed because he knew the utility would force him out, but he manages to actually get across. Perhaps he was wise to go early. That single kill by Edward forced everybody to go back toward A, and they're swarming. Broland tries to do what he can to support his teammate to get in the door quickly. Surprisingly, Twist stays alive long enough for Crims to get there as well, but couldn't find a kill with that. JW has an op, wants to work his way in. Incendiary to force them back. It won't limit JW's access, but that one will. Thrown out by Navi. And JW's thrown out of the position as a result. They'll even stack it, double it up, buy another 4 seconds as they overlap. Bomb to be planted at default. JW now knows there's likely to be someone deeper. He'll check toward the platform. He'll get, oh, surely. Slow reactions. I thought he would just take Zeus cleanly. He gets him in the shin as he gets the second jump in time. That time, not so lucky, but that's still information that JW's still there. That Simple can watch it, and they've still got the man advantage on it. Such a tough position to get back inside the, yeah, smoke off the window and get away. Back inside the wall, they have to save. It's map point Navi to go up 2-0 in the best of 5.
That's a huge play right there from Edward, just to filter out long, not actually have to deal with anybody up close and personal, push through and get a kill. I thought that Twist was in a perfect position, but as soon as he misses that first shot, you're right, he has to leave the back of platform box, because if he waits, they could throw a smoke, they could drop some Molotovs behind it, they could push on in, and he's going to have to move regardless. So here, he tried to get ahead of the curve. He didn't expect so many players to swing on out. They thought they'd respect the AWP, but no, that's exactly where they wanted to go. They accelerated their pace, they traded in their favor, and then they had so much utility left that they could just continue to have window Molotovs, alleviate all the pressure of the retake, get the bomb down, and at that point, even Zeus offered himself up for free. Gave JW multiple attempts at getting that kill, which he definitely needed. And they were left with no option but to carry these weapons through to round number 26. Navi are poised here to take map number 2 in the best of 5.
In some ways, Navi, I suppose not so much. I was going to try and force that a bit, but StarSeries is typically their home event in the Ukraine. They're not at home here. But it's the Ukrainian team.
The hometown favorites.
Still, yeah, that's true. Still being highly successful this time by. Speaking of by, it's 2 silenced M4s, 1 unsilenced. Twist still making it from Moss, but they've got enough to work with in terms of utility. Look at the fast play. Crims, they'll boost it.
Oh, they're boosting over. They're on the
JW,
other side.
you can see it. The problem is,
They don't know they're past.
I was going to say.
Oh my god.
That they go right by them. And they can't be seen. They're inside middle. They've got to walk back out and get away with it. They can't. They got stuck. They realized that in the end, Electronic turned around to get both, and it was a clever idea, but it's a risky time to use it. If it worked, they would have looked like absolute geniuses. Round's not over yet, though. Brolan gets Simple down, as he seems to do.
Oh, big kill.
And Exist sneaks through to get Edward. That brings it back in their favor. It's a pendulum. Will it swing back Navi's way with Flamey on catwalk? Zeus will throw him the bomb. They've just got Twist in front of them. The rotation underneath is in occurrence. It means Exist is trying to get back toward the site, but the ramp's a tough position to get up. The more time that Twist can buy, more likely he is to get there. Zeus with 5 HP goes, but he's already in elevator, and Exist has the lineup both go down. They get away with it. In fact, it's the only 2 kills that go against them, but man, oh man, what a situation.
So Crims was on the bottom of that stack, right? I think he had the silence down 4. So he spammed some bullets, and when Electronic just continued through the doors and saw that there was nothing close middle, from that point onwards, you can see here on the replay the stack, they're just getting spammed through because Electronic is on the other side. He knows that they have to be somewhere. Catches them as they try and move away. And right there and then, Navi's great opening. Well, it all fell apart because there was a flurry in transition. And Fnatic stay alive yet again.
JW, quick shot through mid, no one on the other side of it. He's waiting for the low side, close angle.
Well,
that's not a great smoke. Unless you don't want Grandma who lives upstairs to see anything. Keep her innocently out of this.
Okay, so they've been able to get the close mid doors approach again. Electronic is sitting and waiting for potentially another flash. Or he's just going to walk out, actually. They've gone dry here. So Electronic's pushed out. They've got mid control. The response from Fnatic is to go close towards Cat and Zeus. Very lucky there that Twist was actually jumping away. Spam battle through as the in-game leaders tag each other up. Electronic now, it's just like Stewie of old. Sees the smoke go straight towards it, gravitates towards it.
Oh, Exist. I don't think he was expecting that Molotov to fall so far or spread so far down the stairs. He made the only decision he could to go forward, and Electronic heard him, and knew that he had someone throwing those nades. Where could he possibly be? On the ledge, Twist down, Simple has JW, and Brolan and Crims with a clutch of all clutches. Not gonna happen so far, but Brolan and Crims each got one. It was a chance for the young man, but Simple shuts him down this time at the doors, and that makes it 16-11. And a 2-map lead for Navi. This one was their choice.
I think the reaction there from Simple says it all. It's just business as usual here. They're just getting on in and getting it done. The scoreline 16-11. The first map was close as well, but it feels like when they get to that point, when they're at the threshold of closing this one out, it almost feels inevitable. You know, I'm not saying that Fnatic don't have fight in them because they've made miracle rounds happen. They've been able to pull out the AWP. You saw JW there with 4 big kills and the rest of his teammates on the lower buy, saving them, giving them another chance. But like I said on the first map, it always feels like Navi have that extra gear, that extra level where you just know they're going to close it out.
Yep. Yep, I mean, that's totally true. And even in the first map when Fnatic made it close, they just hunkered down. I agree with some of the calls from Fnatic not to buy, to try and not bleed out too many rounds. Ultimately, though, just so impressive. And more so that it's not so much just Simple this game.
Yeah, Electronic.
Everyone's looking, Electronic especially, everyone's looking really good. I have to give credit to Brolan. I think that's one of the better games he's had in terms of entering and actually taking fights. So let's see if they can fight back. It could be a quick 3-0, or does Fnatic have anything to try and extend this series? We'll find out. We're going to take a break. We'll send it to the desk, and we'll see you in a minute.
Cool, right? Want to know where I got it? Well, look, go to cs.money. It's a trade platform and a marketplace at the same time. Just choose, click, and get. Good luck, bro.
great and new features in the case battles. Updated and convenient interface with new options. Up to 4 users can participate in one battle now. Create and customize your battles, any number and any type of cases. Choose the number of participants and invite your friends with a unique link. Watch the best drop and win everything. Don't miss epic battles on Hellcase.